Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this terrible goddamn city. Oh my god. I actually did finish the run around quest off camera. Despite having guards and a map, it was still irritating. Oh yeah, speaking of which, you remember I mentioned that whole... Let me complain about one last thing about Oribos. And then I swear I'll move on, because I've spent too much time complaining. I apologize for how much time I spent complaining. Spoilers. I'm going to keep doing that. But, check this out, okay? So, out here is outdoors. Okay, cool. No problem. So I go over here. Oh yeah, this is an indoor area. No problem. I'll just go out here, which is now outdoors again, and go across this way. To really explain why that's so irritating, you have to look at this city. Like, if I could take a picture of this and paint it for you, you would understand why that's so irritating. Because huge swaths of this city are indoors. I would say about 30% of it, just eyeballing it there, is indoor territory. So you cannot mount, which everybody knows how irritating it is to not be able to mount in a capital city, right? And by the way, this is the city for the expansion. All the major stuff goes through here. So this is not being to mount in freaking Tuliolo. And yes, I'm using that example very specifically. But even Tuliolo has the stupid warp travel, which I don't like all that much. I'm not going to lie to you. But at least it has that, right? But then, and yeah, Bragwood reminded me of this too. So let's follow a circle. So if we go up here, we loop up like this, because it's a big circle, right? Wrong! You have to then go inside, then out, then over, then down to reach this other area, then back up, then in, then out, then you can complete the circle. You have an airport design, and it very much is based on an airport. That's not actually a meme. You have an airport-based circular hub, which you cannot properly circle, and you have to constantly mount and dismount if you try. The only viable way to actually navigate this place is to constantly use the middle hub. But even that feels like a waste of time, because let's say we're right here, and I want to be over here. How do I do this? Well, in order to do this, I'm going to have to walk over here. Hang on. Okay, we're in position. Now we can mount. Go across the colossally empty, giant swath of nothing burger in the middle. Which, if I could continue to complain for a second, it's not like other capital cities don't have big empty sections like this, but usually those big empty sections are there for something to look at, right? Like, if you look at Stormwind, I know, low-hanging fruit, but if you look at Stormwind, what you see when you go, like, through the park is the freaking park. Right? There's something to look at. In the Cathedral Square, you've got the cathedral there. Down at Lion's Rest, you have this whole awesome-looking area, right? Like, there's something to look at. There's part of the story axis there, fleshing out the city. Even Shattrath, and I have not been kind to Shattrath when it comes to city design, because I'm not a big fan of it, has stuff going on. Oh, look! It's also color-coded right there on the map. Huh. So yeah, it's story negative, and it's gameplay negative because it looks boring. It doesn't have. It has terrible doodad design. I mean, look at how empty this screen is for just a second. But it's a gameplay negative too because it really is a pain in the ass to navigate. Like, as you like again, look at that, and then really quick. Hang on. It's taking me too long. Look at that. Even just looking at the map, you can immediately tell the difference. First and foremost, you can circle the Undercity in one complete circle. Second of all, it's color-coded. Third of all, really big obvious text. The Apothecarium, the Rogues Quarter, the Magic Quarter, the War Quarter. Now, remember, I wasn't too fond of Undercity either, because it is also a pain to navigate. But it is still better to navigate than this place. And yeah, Ironforge. Hey, look! The Hall of Explorers, blue. The Forlorn Cavern, brown. The Mystic Ward, purple. The Commons, yellow. The Military Ward, blue. Tinkertown, kind of off the map. The Center Great Forge, and once again, you can circle it. Oribos is so confusing. Because, like, they know how to do this. We just got out of BFA, which had Borealis and Zuldazar. Now, Zuldazar had some issues on the gameplay axis, but both cities kind of frickin' nailed it, right? And the actual true hub area of Zuldazar is still good, and the hub area of Borealis is fantastic. Oh yeah, sorry, I feel like I already answered that, but you're right, I haven't specifically called this out. Huthor is correct. I'm mostly talking about the map, right? And the map is terrible. In fact, I'm just going to give a separate negative for the Oribos map, because that is a legitimately terrible map. But you should be able to navigate any game, any area, any major hub in this game like this, with no interface whatsoever. And you can most of them. There are a couple of asterisks there. Exodar has some issues. Silvermoon City has some issues. And I would say the Undercity has a couple of issues. But for the most part, you can navigate cities in this game with no interface whatsoever. Yeah, you notice those giant glyphs way the hell ass up there that are absolutely not in typical view? Oh, I know. There's the one right there, too. But they're very badly, like, distinguished, unlike the ones way up there, which are pretty obvious, actually. Real talk, I didn't notice those until yesterday. Yeah, once you know where stuff in Stormwind is, you can literally just look for the color of the roof. There are landmarks. It's what that's called. It's landmark design. We talked about this a lot in Subnautica and Breath of the Wild. Another good example. There's something where you can look around and say, oh, here's where I am. The only landmark in Oribos is that. But that helps not at all, because all that is that's the middle. You don't need help finding the middle of a circle. It is, spoilers, in the middle of the circle. Real talk, this is not actually an exaggeration. I am not sure where I am right now in Oribos. We're going to see how long this takes me to figure out where I need to go. I'm not actually exaggerating or joking. Okay, no, it looks like it's not that way. Maybe this way? Aha! Yes, this is where I want to go. That didn't actually take me that long, but literally all I was doing was looking in each thing and looking for that right there. I was looking for the freaking Helm of Domination. The upper level's different. We don't even have access to that yet. Let's move forward.
And when she sundered the helm, the sky above the citadel shattered. The spire of an immense tower appeared beyond the veil.
Yeah, we saw the cinematic, thanks.
If the Moor's influence bleeds into your realm, the
Right.
balance between life and death will be broken.
Okay,
All you hold dear will be consumed in darkness.
hold up. So what I'm about to complain about is not necessarily a bad thing, but I think in this exact case it is. Okay? Twice now, they have opened. We're still in the intro. We haven't gotten to the first zone. Twice in the intro, they have overemphasized that this is the fate of the entire world. That everything you know will be destroyed, that it's going to cause devastation to all who's ever wronged her, that all of Azeroth is at stake. And let me tell you, personally, very little de-invests me than you starting your adventure by saying, you've got to save the entire planet. But hang on. Well, we don't know that yet, first of all. But see, here's the problem. This is coming immediately on the heels of BFA. Don't do this. This is terrible narrative pacing. We just finished defeating N'Zoth. And I actually rather liked that escalation and build-up across BFA, concluding with the defeat of the last of the old gods. Nyalotha was a great outro. It wasn't the best outro we've ever had, but that was still solid. So we did it. We've beaten the last boss. Phew. Okay, now the entire world is in peril. Don't do that. Don't go straight from the entire world is in peril to the entire world is in peril. It doesn't work. It completely de-invests you. Like, even if you're not even processing or thinking about it. Oh, very much so, Blade Duval. Even if you're not thinking about it or processing it, this is the kind of thing that just makes you go, oh, okay. Like, that's the reaction that you pull. Because we've gone from saving the planet to saving the planet. So there's only two real possibilities there. Either you are at the same level you were already at, or because it's repeated, you are now down further. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, you don't... Pandaria kind of did this, too. Pandaria was actually a really good example of how to pull what you should do. Because Pandaria had really high-tier stakes, even if the overall scope was very small. But Pandaria also started, where? In the Jade Forest, the best zone we've seen so far. And Jade Forest was bringing things way down to ground level. Right? BFA started with, okay, we need to convince the Kultirans and help them with their local issues. What were the first few quests we did? All around Kultiras? Can't believe I'm praising BFA. What has the world come to? Alright, so we're in Terragard Sound. What are we doing? Oh yeah, we've got to help, like, shut down this little foundry thing over here. And there's this guy who's just, he's just really trying to figure out what's going on with this strange gateway thing. Over here there was that noble who was hunting. You remember him? Hell, even if we just count the intro to be fair, what was our intro? Well, we showed up in Borealis. Oh yeah, the sirens up here. Norwington in its entirety. The first thing we saw in Borealis was just, okay, time to do a prison break from people who probably couldn't hold us back if they wanted to. Alright, what the hell's wrong with this place? And then finding out about all the local problems. Now, Shadowlands will get better about this once we get to the first zone, but still, opening with world-ending stakes. And here's the other problem. If you know anything about narrative construction, you know that the policy of most expansions, F14 follows the same thing, is you usually start like here. Doesn't matter what here is. You start here, and then it's over the course of the expansion. And then usually there's a drop at the next expansion, then it goes builds up again, right? Dragonflight and Pandaria are two perfect examples of this. You start pretty far here, and by the end of the expansion, it's up here, right? FF14 does the same thing. When we first get to Heaven's Ward, it's very, very local and very, very, very private. Same thing with Stormblood, same thing with Shadowbringers, same thing with Endwalker even. And then, right? Here, we did the escalation across BFA, and then we keep going. And the problem is, this is our starting line for Shadowlands, where it's going to go even higher. Now, in the interest of total honesty, that probably can work under the right circumstances. But even Return of the King started with 2 hobbits. You remember that? That's where Return of the King started. Even the epic conclusory trilogy of a great series of movies knew how to pull things down for the beginning of the film. Sorry. I'm very, very sorry. I feel very, very stupid because I now have to complain about Oribos again. Because something else occurred to me. Just hear me out for a second. See those glyphs up there? That nobody even knew, including me, even existed until yesterday or today? Why aren't they on the floor? Granted, I like to put the camera out here, but a huge number of players usually sit right about here. Like, this is the average view. of a player playing WoW. And hey, look what's immediately visible from this shot. The floor. Yeah, there's even a frickin' diamond right here where you could have put them. I just noticed that, Uthor. I just noticed they're on the braziers. I didn't even see them before. Like 20 seconds ago. I'm apparently blind. Except if I look over there at that shot. Here, let's get the ceiling one out of the way. There. Can you tell what that symbol is over here? On that brazier? Can you tell what that is at a glance? How about that one over there? It's the color coding is a huge. It's something I talk about a ton when it comes to video game design. Is visual distinction, but visual distinction is actually like 3 or 4 separate things which can all make something distinct. Make it so you can look at it. One of the easiest things to do is colors. Have things be different colors, and Blizzard games are usually really, really good at color distinction, right? Like with the exception of games like Diablo 1. Or, like StarCraft 1. Well, even StarCraft 1 still has color distinction. Sorry. It just occurred to me while we were talking. Is that... I don't know, that's hard to call. It's even animated. It is animated. Yeah, that's another thing. What does a scroll mean? What does what's that called? Scale weighing thing? I can't remember the name. What does that mean? What does the hammer mean? What does the mug mean? Okay, you know what? Actually, I take that back. The mug, I'm with. God, I was thinking... Not too long from now. Not too long ago. I was talking... There's a gear. What does a gear mean? Now, funny is that probably does mean gear. Or does it? Nope, that does not mean gear. You cannot get gear in the gear area. That's where the bank is. That's the bank, guys. Just a few days ago, I was looking at, God, I can't remember what it was in relation to, but I was looking at non-language visual indicators, right? And I was specifically using Final Fantasy IV. Oh my God, I can barely talk. I was using Final Fantasy IV on the SNES as an example of how to convey things like that, right? For those of you not aware, there's a little symbol. Oh no, it was FF1. Excuse me, it was FF1. I was talking about tutorialization. In FF1, there are symbols over the doors of all of the buildings in the first town. So even if you don't actually know like what those words are, and know where you're going, you don't have a map or whatever, you can see there's a symbol of like a sword. In fact, actually, hang on. Let me not be facetious. Let's not exaggerate. Let's actually pull up an image of it right now. Let's actually see what those images are. Here we go. Original NES. That's what I want. Okay, so there's a black staff, a white staff, a shield, a sword, I was right, like a vase-looking item, a heart, and just the words, the letters I-N-N. Now, the only one of that you might not be able to pick up on is the in. But the rest of those, with even like the tiniest bit of context, you could probably figure out pretty quickly what each of those mean. It's an NES game. That's an NES game that has better than that nonsense. Okay, I'm done. We're done. Your critique of Oribos. is over. Let's get on to the first goddamn zone. Sure, hang on, J. Palmer.
And when she sundered the helm, the sky above the citadel shattered. The spire of an immense tower appeared beyond the veil.
Oh?
If the Maul's influence bleeds into your realm, the balance between life and death will be broken. All you hold dear will be consumed in darkness.
There you go. Although, while we're here, actually, I did want to share one other thing. This just made me laugh. I just want to share something that made me laugh. How many of you have played Warcraft 3? For those of you who aren't looking or aren't reading, it's a shot of when you find that kid in the very first mission of Warcraft 3. Mr. Arthas, if you don't stop the bandits, they'll kill more people, sending their souls to the Shadowlands where they'd be judged by the Arbiter, and some of them will be sent to the Maw, where they'll be twisted into agents of the Jailer's eons-old scheme to remake reality. Don't worry, I'll save you, little Billy. It was planned. It was planned since Warcraft 3. They knew. They knew about the Jailer's plan. All the way back. Ah! That's just, I'm just going to leave that there to pull up whenever I need to laugh. Oh my god.
How may I aid you?
Hey look, I can skip the campaign again.
We all have a part to play.
Stop tempting me, game.
Blessed be her voice.
As I sat upon the frozen throne all those years, I could peer into the Shadowlands. Brief glimpses clouded on certain sights, both wondrous and terrible. We must work together to make sense of what happened, to prevent the Maw from consuming all of reality. Okay. Hear me out for a second, because Huthor disagreed with me, which I know is shocking. Huthor says there's nothing wrong with having the big, intense intro, as long as you have a breather section right after it, which is what this is supposed to be. Here's the thing. Let me read that again, because this is now the third time they've said this. We must work together to make sense of what has happened, to prevent the Maw from consuming all of reality. Now, usually when characters in a game say it's like, oh my god, all dimensions, all realities are open to me, they're exaggerating. But as we know, he's not. This is real. This really is the super omega multiverse threat.
The balance must be restored.
Tell me, how did these allies from your world become trapped in the Maw?
Sylvanas Windrunner sent her agents to abduct them. Dark, winged beings who caught them in chains and dragged them through the shattered sky.
The winged Kyrian of Bastion ferry souls from the mortal realm into the Shadowlands, but not with chains. And they are noble, untainted by the Maw.
True, but it would seem this is the only clue our mortal friend has to follow. It falls to us to open the way for them.
Overseer Kasher, take this mortal to the Ring of Transference. Use our anima reserves to open a pathway to Bastion.
But, honored voice, we have so little anima in our reserves. Surely we should be more...
See it done, Kasher. With her voice have I spoken.
Oh, well, I guess that's that then. No more need for discussion. I have spoken with her. No, I agree. They're trying There's a very, 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 very old rule when it comes to fiction. Also real life. The more you try to sell on something, the less likely it is that whatever you're selling it is actually worth what you're selling it for. It's a terrible way to phrase it. Let me try that again. If I overemphasize something, I'm probably lying. Oh my god, I'm hovering again. Yeah, good things advertise themselves.
The Arbiter watches over all. Come, mortal. I will show you the way.
There are some exceptions to that. But usually you can tell the difference between someone trying to sell you on something and someone, for example, just gushing. If I talk about Paper Mario 2R, and I constantly talk about how amazing a game it is, that's because it is. That's because I've earned that opinion, and you could probably tell the enthusiasm in my voice. But if I'm sitting here being like, oh man, you don't even know how good Shadowlands is. It's just it's gonna transcend your experience, right? It's going to be this brand new amazing thing. It's bigger scale and scopes than anything WoW's ever seen before.
This teleporter will convey you to the Ring of Transference.
So, upper level. So this is the upper level. Now, this is actually really funny. Because the upper level, despite being this tiny room, is actually better designed in every way than the lower level. So we got the Flight Master. We'll come back to that. And then we've got the actual gateways. Now, none of the gateways are open right now. So it probably doesn't look as good as it is. But trust me, it will be. Because there will be a portal over here that will be green. And there will be a red one, a blue one, and I don't remember the other color, actually. Well, you see, Tuna Jenkins. What color am I missing? Red, green, blue. What color is Ardenweald? Or is it Bastion? Oh, no, it's Bastion is white, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Anyway, so if you noticed, you paid attention, the actual main plot just poked its head in there, which is the anima drought. What the hell is anima? Something they invented for this expansion and have never really touched on since.
The purpose must be followed.
Within the... Actually, yeah. Within the Arbiter's chambers are gateways to the infinite realms. The infinite realms of the Shadowlands. As each soul was judged, a gateway would be open to the appropriate afterlife. That's a good point. Azurite comes back. Anima is just here and then gone. Yeah, they do not... Like, it's just... Anima is so important. We've been talking about Anima since Warcraft 1! I'm sorry to continue to complain about little details. I'm not going to give this a separate negative. Think about this for a second. As each soul was judged, a gateway would be open to the appropriate afterlife. Please think about the speed at which souls were being judged. They actually visually showed it earlier in a flashback. How fast souls are being judged. It's like several souls per second. It's a supercomputer judging through the soul before it gets sorted out. So... I picture, like, the gateways just going flash, 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 as each of them is opening and closing every few microseconds. Because, yeah, this is the multiverse, remember? This is not the afterlife for Azeroth. This is the afterlife for everywhere. But hang on, it's worse than that. Because we're only going to be seeing people from Azeroth here. For some reason. Anyways. But since the incident, all gateways have remained closed and dormant. We dare not use the Arbiter's Sacred Chamber for so mundane a purpose as travel, but here in the upper ring, gateways can be configured for your needs. Exactly, McAngramstein. Before us stands a means to channel the gateway. Together we can channel enough anima to power it.
Blessed be her voice. We have precious little anima to spare, but the honored voice has blessed your mission. So we will...
Really, Uthor?
We have.
Wow! 2!
We will call down one of the soul conduits for use as a gateway to Bastion. These paths have been dormant for some time. Your arrival will be unexpected.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about them. Uthor is correct. There are 2 people from another world. I forgot about them. Also, how do we have anima to charge?
I have been instructed to assist you.
So, this is something that I think Umbral Magnus brought up earlier.
Sees all truths.
But technically, yes, J. Palmer. Hey! I think that's the first person who got why I picked Earthen. When you arrive in Bastion, seek out one of the Kyrian. Explain that you require an audience with the Archon. Like the Arbiter, she's one of the Eternal Ones. Okay, so there's... Is that the first time they've mentioned the Eternal Ones? Because they've been talking about the first ones. If anyone could guide you to the truth, it's an Archon. Perhaps you'll even know a way to end the anima drought.
This crisis will.
Okay, so for what it's worth, I do like this sequence. But do we have to do this every single time? Yes, the answer is yes. Now, I used to have an add-on going. I don't have it going right now, you can tell. That would track your speed. It was actually funny because when you do this, you go extremely fast. You can even tell on the map, just watching how fast we're going there. That is ludicrously fast. That's why they've got this graphic covering everything, because the pop-in right now is actually insane if you can see past it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bastion. Finally, something, anything else. Oh, finally. I can actually gush about visuals again.
By the Archon, the way is open? What is on your mind?
The way is open. Archon be praised.
Whatever the challenge, we shall rise to it.
Forgive my reaction. The way from Oribos has been closed for some time. Oh no, that's so terrible. Anyways, you stay here for a minute. I'm going to go do a tour. Bye. So let's look at Bastion for a second. First of all, anything is better than Oribos, am I right? But for real, let's just take a look around. Hang on, let's pop something here. Oh, I can't actually use it yet. So just really take in the sight here. First of all, the color combo here is fascinating to me. Yellow and purple. It's not just yellow and purple, but that's our dominant 2 colors. The grass and the fields are very golden, right? Yeah, very pastel. That's a good word. Because that's not even like a solid yellow. That's like a very dull, desaturated kind of a yellow. And of course, then we've got that kind of purple motif in the panes, in the trees, some of the water. And of course, there's the really, really bright teal thing every now and again as well. Sand yellow, I like that. And of course, blue is obvious because blue is kind of dominant over everything. Unlike Epic, who is dominant over everything. Wait. Yakuza Kiwami 2. Resident Evil Block. And Alan Wake. And being attacked. Run! Yeah, there's also literally feathers just floating periodically throughout the air. Thank you, Epic, very much. Are you still aggroed to me? The hell? Go away. Ahem. Let me get this out of the way. I love the look of this place. It's not my favorite of the zones. That would be the 3rd zone. But Elysium. Bastion. I mean, come on. Yeah, there's this wonderful somber music playing. There's this great kind of, I don't know what to call it, geometric carving. Like, look at how Can I land on this? No, of course I can't. Look at the patterns in the wall, right? It's not quite patterned, not like Oribos was, but you can really feel that harsh edges. I don't know what to call this. Someone who actually knows art could tell you. Yeah, it's got a reflection texture on it too. But all of the architecture here is very harsh edges. Like this thing right here. Look at that. Chunk, 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 right? And then chunk, chunk. In divine geometry. I like that. It's a good phrase for that. Even their banners, which are just hovering in the air, kind of follow the same thing and have the flowing, glowing effect through it. This place looks wonderful, and it's such a great relief on the eyes despite the overwhelmingly pastel color. Like, just look, take in this shot right here. That is a hell of a blur of colors, but it still has better distinction than Oribos. Sorry. Because, like, you've got the soft kind of purple-orange in the trees. Then there's that sand yellow of the grass there. And then it kind of dips into this very, very light kind of lavender purple, which is contrasted by deeper blues and purples. If you actually take a look at it, there's several shades of blue and purple in the ground. And yes, obviously it's reflective as well. But you see how it still has some depth to it. It's not just monocolored there. Oh, this is 100% intentional. I actually said that yesterday. They could have done these zones in any order, really. Imagine going to Maldraxxus immediately after going to the Maw. No, they know what they were doing. It makes perfect sense to go to Bastion first. This was the correct choice. But then we also take in, like, there's spots of blue in this shot, right? For example, we've got these fires right here. And, like, whatever these crystals are, like here and here. And in the distance, we've got some bits like that are just kind of hovering, providing some kind of light or power source or whatever it is. So, soft, 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 but everything is still kind of outlined just a little bit. If it's not obvious, so now that we're past Oribos, we can start giving visual positives again. But before we go any further, I want to talk about that skybox. Now, let's get out of the fog, so I can actually show it. Let's get out of the fog. Oh, God. Go away, fog. Go away, fog. Am I too high? Is that what it is? Nope. Is that zone wide? Oh, my God. Let's talk about the skybox. Blah! I know it's weather. It's just irritating. You'll notice it's actually snow, specifically. God damn it. Okay, remind me to get back to the skybox at some point. Still nothing? Whatever. Whatever. Anyways. So, here's our very, very, very first shot of this. And once again, they know where the camera's going to place, and they designed it appropriately. This is our first real shot of Bastion. Obviously, we had the fly-in, but when we land, this is our shot. And look at the framing of this shot. Really take this in for a second. This is, first of all, it's wonderfully symmetrical. But we've also got, like, the banners, the flowing water coming off to the sides, the violet vegetation, the angular pearlescent thing that Bregman mentioned. We've got this corridor, which we can see now. We see the Guardian at the end of it, the golden Protoss armor back there. By the way, a lot of Protoss vibes in Bastion. No, I don't mind. Thank you for asking. Excuse me. But if you're paying attention, you notice something else, too. There's a Guardian right here, who actually looks more robotic than the Guardians in Oribos. No, I'm not going to let that go. But there's another Guardian who is unactive. If you look at him, he's actually called Depleted Praetor. Even right here, right out the gate, we've got a little bit of storytelling. I love that reflection. Do you see that on the stairs? Look at that. That's sharp. Clea?
I serve not only Bastion, but all of the Shadowlands.
Forgive my reaction. You see, the way from Oribos has been closed for some time. We didn't know if it would ever open again. I welcome you, noble soul, to Bastion. Your deeds in life have earned you a most glorious fate. You are to become a Kyrian, a winged bearer of the dead. My name is... Oh my god, oh my god. I just realized she's been sitting here waiting for the next person who was sent here to be a Kyrian since the end of Legion. We can time it. We're pretty sure that's pretty much how long she's been sitting here waiting for the next applicant. And yeah, I know, let's throw the time dilation out the window for a second. It's stupid, and I don't think it ever even comes up again. So even if we ignore time dilation... Oh. Hey, Skybox. Even if we ignore time dilation, it's been a bare minimum of 2 years that she's just been sitting here, waiting, and the gate's been closed for 2 years. Anyways, Skybox. Okay, so I love this Skybox. First of all, it looks very pretty. Just take in... It's just enough alien looking while still being familiar, which is an aesthetic I really enjoy. Yeah, the feathers in the clouds kind of wisping up a little bit as they're... You notice the clouds are actually moving. It's very, very slow. But if you track like a specific part of the clouds and just watch it for a second, you'll see how it's moving. It's drifting in the background there. And then we've got... there's another great shot right there. Do you see that? I love that. But the other thing I love, and I had some theories about this last time I was here, is those. Do you see those? Now, if you pay very, very careful attention, the clouds are coming out of those, which means that's probably, those sparks are probably the source of the clouds. And given that literally everything in the Shadowlands is made of anima, that's probably what's left of their anima reserves. But there's a lot of interesting implications about what those are, where those connect, and what they're coming to. And yeah, there's lots of buildings and structures in the distance. Like, I can't even ping it because it's not letting me. But way out there in the distance, you can see another floating island. And I think there was another one this way. I don't quite have a good angle on it. Hey, Mr. Floyd. Welcome to the positive part of Shadowlands, the zones. I don't really have a good angle on it. It's over there somewhere. See, that's... So the theory... Sorry, I never actually said my theory. My big theory is that those are the pathways that they use to go to and from, well, Azeroth, let's just say it, in order to be the spirit healers, to help the dead and travel with the dead to and from. Oh yeah, by the way, do you like if you look straight up, you just see that. There's actually a second one over there, forming an infinity circle. Oh, the visual storytelling and the visuals in general of Shadowlands zones are very, very good. It's one of the reasons why Oribos is so confusing. Oribos is one of the worst designed zones I've seen since the BC era, visually, and in terms of gameplay. And yet, like, this, oh my god. Do you notice that one over there, which is just kind of slowly falling? It's even tilted a little bit, kind of showing how it's kind of drifting, and it's kind of smoking a little bit. I mean, yeah, again, the offices were officially on fire, and then COVID. That is the great... I'm just going to start using that. This is the time which everyone was working and going, this is fine. The 5 people in the office... That's an exaggeration, but like the people in the office who were still, you know, working there. Anyways. So, she's been sitting here for about 2 years waiting for the next person to come through.
How may I serve you?
That's us. My name is Clea. First of all, one other little asterisk. I'm sorry. I like basically all the supporting cast of these zones. I usually call it supporting cast. Shadowlands might be one of the first zones where individual characters... That's not true. We had this in Legion and we had this in BFA. But individual supporting cast characters, in other words, regional characters who are only really in a specific region, might warrant their own positives. We'll see as we go. But I remember liking a lot of the supporting cast in the 4 zones. My name is Clea. I would be honored to introduce you to our beautiful realm. There's much you must learn before the journey can begin. Gather yourself, and when you're ready, we will venture on.
We will fix this drought. We must. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Bastion. Though, you are like no soul I have ever seen before. No matter. You are to become one of the Kyrian. It is our sacred charge to bring mortal souls before the Arbiter for judgment.
We'll talk about the stewards later.
It has been an age since we last welcomed a new arrival. The greeter will tell you more, as soon as we awaken it.
Stewards are amazing, though. Sorry. They're so cute. Yeah, infinite Kyrians, infinite souls, infinite. I was just about to call attention to the fact that even the plants have feathers. Look at that. God, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. I'm sorry. The design that went into that. I constantly gush about design. Fidelity is its own thing. And Lord knows WoW can do fidelity, usually in its pre-rendered CGI. But what WoW has always done is design. Yeah, that just looks soft, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, even though the feathers on... The feathers, Jesus Christ. The leaves on the tree look like feathers. And yes, this is where the Valkyrie are based on. Thanks, Moisella. He is responsible for so much crap. It's kind of weird. I'll complain about him later. No! You were the chosen one, Lucas Slaughter. I saw that the duology went on sale recently. Not enough on sale. I want them souls one someday. It's funny because I love that dungeon, and I do. But Moisella, not so much. I mean, almost everything here has got that pearl effect going on. What's really funny is if you pay very careful attention, you can see how WoW does it. What it's happening is there's a part of the... Look, I didn't make it that long. Look, still look at me. There's a part of the ground that is allowing another texture to be seen through it. And so what's happening is it's casting that texture essentially under... I'm speaking very broadly. Under that. So as you look around, you can see how the texture moves as we are... The way it is positioned is different than the way the actual texture is positioned. So it kind of adds that kind of reflective material look to it. I've seen this effect used ever since the SNES era, actually. It is a very visually impressive thing. It's really hard to even kind of break it. Once you get down to like this level, you can actually start to see the texture there. Do you see it? As I'm kind of moving around, do you see the textures kind of moving with my camera there? I've encountered like 2 or 3 spots in the game where that texture actually breaks. At which point it becomes a lot more obvious. You get the idea. Anyways. Here, have something neat to look at while I say thank you to Lucas Slaughter. Thank you again for trying to fund one of the longest game series in existence. I'm pretty sure, without irony, that the Trails of series as a whole will be longer than the entire WoW blog. Thank you very, very much, though, for your support. Yeah, I know. I noticed the steel ones are just the worst when it comes to length. Those games are long chonkers. Okay.
The drought holds strong.
The greeter will soon answer all your questions. That is your purpose, after all. She smiles at you. I hope you're excited. I certainly am. They're all so nice. One of the things I love most about Bastion, a lot of people hate Bastion. I don't blame you, to be clear. But a lot of people hate Bastion. And what I love most about it is most of the people here are so sincere in their positivity.
I will ascend.
Ah, yes, the greeter. It seems the Nemesis units have been deactivated. Anima has been so scarce of late, and with no new souls entering the gates, I suppose it was prudent measure. Anima is our most precious resource, after all. There are some centurions nearby. A portion of their anima can serve our needs. Ah, one of our most helpful stewards is here to lend their aid. She'll guide you to the collection effort. Return when you have sufficient anima, and we'll power the greeter once more.
Sika, can we spare any anima for the greeter?
Yes, take my barrel. Centurions will share.
I really love the voice. I'm just going to give a positive right now for the voice acting of the attendants. Or not the attendants. Yeah, the attendant. The owls. The owls. Stewards, thank you. Hang on. Mr. Floyd. Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. It's putting that towards Dragon Age 4, Baldur's Gate 3, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Yeah, the last time I played it, it wasn't actually a review. So we didn't do everything. And we cheated. The next time, we'll probably cheat again. But we'll be doing all the side content.
What can I do?
Master Mikanikos, Forged Light Prime, asked Sika to tend centurions. With little anima, we choose who gets some. Now you here. Anima needed for greeter. Good thing Sika made centurions share.
We've got a schedule to keep.
The stewards are just so amazing. Right.
Hold tight now. No anima must fall.
Yes, my pleasure.
My anima for Bastion.
Yes, we will all combine our anima to the great convalescence. No worry, he comes back when anima returns. Yeah, they're just out of power. Big ones have so much anima.
Have enough. We wake greeter now.
This one almost empty, though. So, I don't want to bury the lead on this, but something I've talked about several times is how if you remove the jailer, the anima drought quickly becomes the main plot and is just more engaging in every way. Part of the reason I mentioned that was from memory, the anima drought is a constant plot point. In all 4 zones, it's all about the anima drought. Everything centers around it to some... It's the central pillar of the story, right? Look at what we're doing here. Everything about this opening sequence, starting from when we got to Oribos, is about how they weren't even sure they had enough anima to open the gateway. Not to do anything else, just to open the gateway at all. We get here, and we have to start draining anima from active, from our understanding, people, in order to just go ahead and power up a greeter so we can go through the proper procedures. And yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, this becomes a breather section because we're just here to fix the afterlives. Now, I still don't like the constructed afterlives thing because I don't think it fits Warcraft, and it doesn't. However, it would be a lot better if this expansion's primary plot was just fixing the afterlives, right? Because, yeah, maybe the anima drought happened because of that stupid sword. You know, the one sticking out of Celethus.
Anima reserves now nominal. Initializing. What knowledge do you seek?
Welcome, worthy one. I am Greater Nemes. It is my duty and pleasure to assist you on this, your first day amongst the Kyrian. Allow me to congratulate you. Your fate is reserved for the most noble of souls. Only those who lived a life of service may call Bastion home. I am certain you have many questions. All new aspirants do. Please, allow me the honor of introducing you to the next chapter of your existence. We will begin when you are ready.
I exist to answer all your questions.
I think there might have been a mistake. We understand that the end of a mortal's existence can feel abrupt and is sometimes difficult to accept. You are not the first, nor will you be the last, to question the nature of your new existence. Please, take this opportunity to process these facts and find acceptance. When you have done so, we will continue your But I'm not dead. I do not understand. From which world, system, entity, realm, or form of existence do you originate? Well, I'm from Azeroth.
Greetings, denizen of Azeroth. We have prepared a number of activities to help you acclimate to your new existence. Please visit each station to learn more.
I must prepare my station. I will meet you there.
I love it, though. You'll notice how... So, okay, I hate to complain, but I have to complain. We're on a timer right now. There is a ticking clock. Actually, there's two ticking clocks right now. There's the vague ticking clock of whatever the jailer and Sylvanas are up to. But there's also the very real and tangible ticking clock of our friends are actively being tortured right now. Why are we taking our time here? Once again, this would make a lot more sense if those ticking clocks didn't exist. If we were just doing our thing. It's like, oh my god, something's wrong with the afterlife. So we get here. And what I'm trying to say is this initial Kyrian arc, a lot of the zones have this kind of an arc, is all about just learning the nature of the zone and how it operates. It's very chill. Yeah, it's your designated info dump section. It's when you first get to a city in a GTA game. And that's fine if we're not in a hurry. But we are always in a hurry. Actually, yeah, Blade Jamal, that's a good comparison point. We got stuff to do, guys. Can we go? But instead, we're just going to play along with all this stuff. Not be like, look, I kind of need to see the manager. Remember, our primary goal here is to see the Archon. Yeah, removing the timer, we're good. Now, minimum change game, right? How do you remove the timer and still make this work? Easy answer, have the other people escape with us from the Maw. I know that would fundamentally change later quests, but I do think it would overall smooth things out better. So instead of leaving behind all our friends and allies in the Maw to be tortured in the worst place that exists in the setting, they're recovering in Oribos, along with Bolvar, who's trying to take care of them. And they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And then we go out, we're the agent, right? They're recouping. Like, you can literally have them laid up. Like, champion. The wounds, champion. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. Kenneth's cowl. If you really, really want the go rescue them quest, which happened later, have them captured again. It's not a great answer, but it's an answer. But no, instead we have this disconnect. Yeah, maybe Bane's wounded and the others are taking care of him. Like, come on, there's ways to make this work. So this is a dissonance. What do we call this? Let's call this a pacing problem. That's a good point. This probably is a segregation. Oh, absolutely, Huthor. The more I review this and really go through this with analysis mode, the more it's fascinating because you can see the bits of the original story in here, and I'm kind of more with it, you know?
The Vespers of Bastion are no ordinary instruments. Their voices bolster the spirit, and draw forth the lingering burdens of one's former life.
Oh yeah, and remember, the entirety of reality is at stake here. No, that's not future knowledge. They've told us that 3 times now.
All deeds from your previous life will be collected and stored. The archives compile the histories of countless mortal worlds, as seen through the eyes of aspirants like yourself.
Kyrestia, the firstborn Archon of Bastion, has presided over this realm since the Shadowlands came into being. She is the example, the beacon in the darkness for aspirants and ascended alike. Her light illuminates the path you now walk. Her will keeps Bastion aloft. Her infinite wisdom safeguards us for all time. She awaits you at the end of this long road, for it is she who will grant you the gift of flight, and it is she who will charge you with your most sacred task. The Archon's eyes are surely upon you in this moment. So yeah, there's our second look at an Archon. I kind of like the higher resolution, higher quality look at the Valkyr, because that's what we're looking at. That's a Valkyr, you know, but with years more generations of development and progress and engine. Each temple is presided over by a paragon. These ancient beings demonstrate the ultimate expression of their respective virtue and are responsible for the care and training of all aspirants in their domain. So we have Vesiphone of purity, Xandria of courage, Cyrus of humility, Thenios of wisdom, and Devos of loyalty. Each is bolstered by their chosen hand, selected for their excellence in service to their temple. You should expect to meet them on your journey, as they will be an invaluable resource to complete the 5 rites.
Step into the pool, friend.
Do I have to? Wash away the trauma of death is what this spell does.
Passing through the veil can be traumatic. Allow us to cleanse the pain of that ordeal.
I'm like 30 minutes old at this point, canonically. Whoa, hey.
What is that? It looks like a Kyrian, but it is twisted. How strange. Carry on with your learning. I will meet you near the greeter.
I love the voice direction in this expansion. A lot of stuff is implied just in how they say it. It's all death magic. This is all death magic at this point, Mr. Floyd. The domain of death. Oh, where's Bregwin? Bregwin, where are you sitting? Where are you sitting?
Welcome, new aspirants, to the first step in your journey through Bastion. While you venture among us, we will teach you the virtues of purity, courage, humility, wisdom, and loyalty. You will cleanse yourself of your mortal flaws and ascend to a higher state of being, capable of performing our most sacred and difficult task. We have much to teach you, but have no fear. Your journey is your own, and you may walk the path at your own pace.
Girl, there's no hurry. You know, the Earthen's like, I'm not mortal. But I thought, okay. Yeah, everyone, you just died. All right, let's go to school. Come on, first day. Valkyrs are actually undead creatures. But they are using death magic, last I checked. Even Odin's Valkyrs are using death magic. Remember, Odin based his Valkyrs off of the Kyrians. And then the ones we see under the Lich King are the ones that were corrupted from Odin's.
Allow me to show you the way.
I hope that was informative and relaxing.
Deep breaths.
I've given your presence here some thought. It's clear to me you are no ordinary arrival. I don't know why you're here or what you hope to achieve. That alone is simply unprecedented. You must understand, individuals do not merely come to Bastion on a whim. This fate is earned, and those who are chosen for it are uniquely suited to this experience. So I ask you, why is Offshore Twitch account giving me a sub right now? Well, you see. Blood Money R, Sonic 2D Classic, and Henry Stickman is the answer to your question. And thank you for the sub, as always.
Archon's wisdom.
So, let me exposit to you. Explain.
Drought. Kyrian, in service of the Maw? That cannot be.
What is the meaning of this?
They must have sensed that I enabled the greeter. I will handle this, mortal.
Why is this Nemesis unit active? We can ill afford this anima expenditure.
Right here.
Goodbye.
Ascended One, this newcomer brings troubling news of Kyrian in the Maw. We must inform the Archon.
A grim fate. But if the Arbiter judge them deserving of it, then the matter is not our concern.
That's not...
These were not prisoners, but willing servants. Surely this merits an audience.
There is but one way to earn an audience with the Archon. To walk the path and prove worthy of ascension.
If this sounds familiar, congratulations, you've played an RPG before. Because, right? Dragon Age Origins. Okay, we've just gotten to insert zone here. We're here for a reason, but they've got their own problems. They won't help us until we help them. You know, it's a very, very standard procedure. And it kind of doesn't bother me that much. Except for the thing I already mentioned. If we didn't have the main plot looming in the background, this would be fine, right? Yeah, FF14 does that for pretty much every zone. So it makes perfect sense, if the looming plot isn't there, that we get here and they're like, okay, we'll talk to you if you go through our things. And we're like, okay. Nothing wrong with that. We're not on a ticking clock, right? So we don't have a hurry. And we're trying to fix death in general. So let's go ahead and try to figure out everything that's going on here in order to try and better understand how to fix it. After all, spoilers, us going through these trials is going to be a really good thing for understanding what's happening in Bastion. So it is a beneficial task for helping Bastion, for fixing the afterlives. Huh. It's going to keep coming up. Really quick, tiny tidbit. When Calistine here, or Theni, I'm not sure, it's all supposed to be Greek. When Calistine takes out the Arbiter, or the Greeter, excuse me, Sika here quickly grabbed that vase, and then rushed over to grab it, and then just kind of walked over here and is now holding the anima that was in the Greeter. Little details. There's a lot of flaws in Shadowlands, but there's still some little polishing details here and there. Also, I just want to show off the Ascended really quick. Why are those wings not a mount?
Shine upon you.
Why are those wings not a mount? Come on, game. Like, that, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Those are good-looking wings. They even look just enough ethereal. Like the edges of the tips there, you can see aren't quite physical. They're starting to get to the point where it's just ephemeral. It's a nice touch. Anyways.
I would have you speak.
We have heard of you, mortal.
Archon's eyes upon
Wish to stand before the Archon, there is a path you must walk. Thankfully it is well-worn and serviceable even in these dire times. Though you are not destined to become Kyrian, our ways may be of interest to you, and there's no ticking clock in the background. Learn well, learn fast, and perhaps the Archon will take notice and grant you this audience you seek. Aspirant Clea will show you the way. Archon's eyes upon you.
You know the path better than most, Aspirant. Archon's eyes upon you.
Yeah, actually, it is a personal goal of mine to get the wing mounts in FF14. It'll be the first time I ever use something other than the Magitech armor.
Follow the path. As if we have... We should be on our way.
And in that line, I liked Clea right there. I already kind of liked her, but the fact that she wasn't just completely drunk on the Kool-Aid, and you notice how subtly they indicate that. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say subtly. That's giving it too much credit. But they don't have the character turn to the camera and say, I disagree with the rigid order in which things are done. Instead, she's just like, follow the path. As if we... And she just cuts herself off in frustration. We should be on our way. Yeah, Clea's cool. I remember liking Clea quite a bit. Sorry, let me jot down some stuff here really quick. Okay.
The future of Bastion is
right. Come on, Clea. Let's get out of her. Let's use Yura's favorite mount here. Of course, Van Falkenstein. This is a review. Yeah, I do find it fascinating that she's the first local we meet.
My final trial, when the drought began. None have ascended since.
See you around, Devo. Take care with chores. Congrats,
Our world
Ross.
must appear pristine to you. Words cannot express what was lost. Wait, let me show you.
You got it.
We are in the midst of an unspeakable tragedy.
It's a drought. Whoops.
Come. We will seek out my soulbind, Pelagos, at Aspirin's Rest.
Sorry, hang on. I think I could show that again, because I didn't actually mean to cancel it. So when you do this, there's people flying everywhere, and this near non-stop parade of ghosts, some fully distanced, some actually still containing their mortal bodies, walking this pathway. Notice, by the way, the feathers of anima are actually going up. In other words, this place is so glutted with anima in a normal season that it's overflowing. The cup overflows, for lack of a better way to put it, right? There's just so much anima. Also, I hate to keep pointing this out, but that anima drought, that it is continuing to be a major plot point. Oversaturated, that's a good word. I usually associate that with color, which is why that didn't occur to me. It looks so good. It looks so good. Sorry.
We have arrived. Pelagos will be eager to meet you.
I love it. Explore dings are usually a big deal. I'm not sure if they'll be a big deal this time around. Let's grab that.
Clea! Thank the Archon. Pelagos began the ritual without you.
What? That fool. We have little time.
Hang on. Before we do that, let's just talk to a few of the people here, shall we?
Hello.
They told us to wait here until the anima crisis was resolved. I don't even know how long ago that was. I'm starting to think this drought will never end. At least the stewards are very nice, and I can eat as much as I want without gaining weight. Ha!
See you later.
I have so very much to learn, but at least there's no rush. After all, it's not like anyone can ascend right now. Bastion's such a wonderful place. They told me the sky was filled with anima before things went awry. I should dearly like to see it if as it is intended.
Yeah, what do you want?
This is absurd. We've been waiting for what? Wait. What day is it? A long time.
Be good.
Also, I want to eat whatever that pudding is. I don't even care. I just want to try it. Yeah, the lack of timer. I'm telling you. Slow down. There is no timer. They say the collectors are good with their hands. Maybe I should take up whittling. I think I want to become a bearer when I ascend. I want to see all the worlds beyond the Shadowlands. I want to know what's out there.
Patience and faith.
Oh, a new face. Do you have news from the beyond? You do not want to know.
Go in service.
I guess the question there would be, when did you die?
Ishnu Allah.
All I want is to start my journey. Is that so much to ask?
Be careful.
Ooh, ooh.
Farewell.
Ooh, a vial of serenity. Ah, thank you.
Mokra.
They told us to wait here until the anima crisis was... Oh, sorry, I've actually read that one.
Strength.
It's our first repeat. Becoming a watcher sounds so difficult, but if I could give souls another chance at life, is that not a worthy purpose?
Salutations! Off and away!
Oh, to one day have wings, he sighs wistfully.
We must all walk the path.
Ascension must be earned.
I hope you're a sign of a better things to come, friend. Not all is well in Bastion.
Trust the Archon's wisdom.
Welcome, friend.
Juice is good for thinking, good for sparring. You want I get juice? Ooh.
Goodbye, my friend. Ooh. Please, take your time.
Slow down.
Until we meet again.
So... And then the camera cuts away to our friends being tortured. Ah, the pain! The pain! It's okay! The Maw Walker will save us. Cut back to us. Oh, wow, this place is fascinating. Oh, thank you for the juice. Glug, glug.
You are a sign of the winds of change.
Your journey is just beginning. I hope you can help us. Hope we can help you.
Deep breaths. Our purpose is to serve.
Pelagos is my soulbind. He is my brother, my closest friend, my mentor, my student. He knows me completely and I him. It's a bond stronger than any other. That he now struggles is a torment to me, but I am forbidden from intervening. An aspirant must succeed or fail on their own merits, or the trial is forfeit. I am bound by this law, but you are not. Please bring Pelagos back to me. This will not be his last trial, not when we finally have a chance.
Whatever the challenge, we shall rise to it.
As you will soon learn, a ritual cleansing can be a painful process. By the way, can I count on your help to do the Shadowlands dungeons, Mr. Red? In most cases, the upwelling of emotion is harmless. It can even generate anima under the right circumstances. However, sometimes the result is far less pleasant. Negative memories can take a form of their own and manifest in violent fashion. I fear Pelagos' attempt at cleansing has brought forth such monsters, and you must destroy them quickly.
Pelagos may soon succumb to doubt and fear. Make haste.
Do I not have... Oh, I don't. Oh, that's why. Yeah, these are actually Shaw, riggings. As for whether it was intentional or not, honestly, who knows at this point. Like, your guess is as good as mine.
Never good enough.
How much of this is intentional or not is very in the air. This is Shadowlands. The offices are on fire. Maybe I should switch that. No. No. Sorry, debating build. What? There's nothing to be. Oh my god! Ah! Okay, we're good.
Help me!
Ah!
You are weak. Ascension will never be yours.
Oh, okay. If you say so.
Your failure is a stain on your soul.
No! No! I must not give in!
You okay there, Pelagos?
Huh. That was too close for comfort. Thank you. I feel much better now.
That was reckless, Pelagos. You would have fallen if not for that mortal.
I thought I could succeed on my own, but I was wrong.
Alone. All alone.
I am here for you.
Owe you a great debt, Horde Runner.
Together, we can achieve...
Why do they call you that? Don't ask.
I serve not only Bastion, but all of the Shadowlands.
The things that bind us can be violent. The insight we gain is no reason to let them run rampant.
I will ascend.
I have given Calisthine's words some thought. If you are to learn our ways, we should proceed as if you are an aspirant yourself. The next step is to journey through the aspirant's crucible. It's a place of reflection, training, cleansing. For an aspirant, it's where they prepare for the long journey ahead. For you, I hope you'll learn how you might help us in our time of crisis. Word of your arrival is likely spread. We will not keep them waiting. Here, take my seat and go in service.
Go on ahead. Pelagos and I will make our way over on foot.
Must we walk? I am fairly fatigued after my trial.
Consider it part of your training, my friend.
At which temple do you train, as it must be?
You there. Might I ask your help? I must confess, the lack of new souls arriving, our supplies dwindling, we lack the means to clothe arrivals in proper Kyrian attire. Before the forging of the Centurions, aspirants trained against the native wildlife. Perhaps there's another way these beasts can prove useful. If you collect material from the Cloud Striders and Larians nearby, you can use them to ensure our new arrivals look the part. Oh, and some thread from Irene, if you would.
Walk with courage.
Sure. I'm going to laugh if we go back through with the visual audit and we're like, well, FF14 looks even worse than before.
I've been expecting you.
No pluses to visuals.
I hope something I have will be of use. May it aid in your endeavors.
Oh, it's so nice to be able to fly out here, by the way. The last and indeed only time I did these zones, I couldn't fly. What's that as Maristar? Oh, yeah, no, I could see that. Which is the answer from Mr. Floyd Pickerton's question. They're all talking in such a saccharine way to help emphasize the horror of the place. Nice, killing scout. I don't remember which one Deja Q is, but yesterday's Enterprise is a damn good one. Better than I thought it would be when we were going through it for review purposes. See you around, J. Palmer. Ooh, ethereal meat. Sounds really unappetizing. Maldraxxus is fascinating. And that's all I'll say about that right now. But it might not surprise you to know that Maldraxxus is actually my personal favorite of the four. No, that's not quite true. I think Revendreth is actually my favorite. The reason I hesitated on that for a second... Yeah, Maldraxxus is extremely honest, ironically. But Maldraxxus is also... It's a pretty classic subversion. I'm talking about it too much. The reason Maldraxxus kind of pushes ahead of Revendreth is we spend so much time in Revendreth looking at assholes who aren't running the system the way it's supposed to be run. The intended purpose of Revendreth, to me, is legitimately fascinating. It's something I have actually borrowed for the extant. Unironically. Just move from afterlife to life. Oh, by the way, these quests don't share. Don't worry, that is the last time you're going to hear me say all this crap. Shadowlands was the last expansion, as of now, which we had co-op issues in. Thank God. Correct, Kraken-san. The whole point of Revendreth is you go there when you are a bad person. In other words, to explain... I guess I'll just spoil this. To explain this in brief, the idea is, if you are an evil soul, if you are someone who is horrible in life, you don't get sent to hell, the Maw. You get sent to Revendreth. And in Revendreth, you are given a chance to redeem yourself, to be rehabilitated. And I don't want to go too much into it, but they actually do a pretty good job of that. It's not like, all right, repent. No, they literally take decades or centuries, if necessary, to help people to overcome the fact that they are evil people. To accept that they were wrong, to try and acknowledge that, and try to be a better person. They are extraordinarily patient in their methods. It is legitimately fascinating, and far more interesting to me personally, than just, oh, you're evil. Off to hell. But yeah, I'm getting way ahead of myself. We're still in the first zone. Let's not talk about the fourth. As we always do. Yeah, I'm not sure why that keeps popping up, Grey Wolf.
It is an honor. Go in service.
Okay.
Clear skies. Full hearts can't lose.
The materials you gathered from me were more than sufficient for my purposes. For that you have my gratitude. I think I know how best to make use of the excess. A dear friend of mine recently achieved the role of acolyte in service to the Temple of Purity. You're new here, so I'll spare you the details, but it's an honor to serve a temple before one reaches ascension. I want you to celebrate her success with a gift. Will you take this parcel to her?
Trust the process.
Sure. Of course not, Mr. Red. We're going to watch those as they show up in the game, just like we did with BFA for the most part. It'll be interesting to see where they put each of them. I actually had a list here. Let's see. Afterlives. Let's see. The Bastion one is during the Kyrian campaign. The Maldraxxus one is right as soon as you reach Maldraxxus. The Ardenweald one is during the Ardenweald storyline. The Revendreth one is... in a weird spot. We're going to have to look that one. We're going to have to seek that one out, looks like. Yeah, sorry, did you notice that? The Kyrians were all cheering when they saw us go by. And they actually said, at last the drought is over. Is the path open once more? Sorry, I forgot to comment on this earlier because there's actually a lot going on right now. But did you notice? Did you notice that there's a whole lot of indications of just how isolated the afterlives are? They have no idea what's going on in any of the other three afterlives, and vice versa for the most part. Now, how much of that is policy and how much of that's because of the drought, I think it's a little bit of, you know, six of one, half a dozen of the other. Yes, if we died, that's us right there. Now, we might still retain enough of our ego, our sense of identity, in order to retain our physical shape, but we would be a soul.
So the rumors were true. Come, let me look at you.
Hi.
Speak. I would hear you.
Welcome. You're not what we expected, but we're glad to have you nonetheless.
My hammer is yours, should you need it.
You are unlike any aspirant that has come before, that much is certain. You will notice we have an audience. It's been a long time indeed since we have welcomed another path. About 2 years. Yeah, I know, time dilation. Look, can we honestly, as a group, can we just agree that time dilation doesn't exist anymore? Can we just do that? Okay, so. It's been about 2 years since we've welcomed another to the path. We are all eager to see what deeds brought you to us. Simply approach the dais before you and gaze into the flame. The Watcher will pull forth your memories of those you served in life, and you'll be transported back to those moments to aid them once more.
When you are ready, approach the flame and follow the Watcher's instructions.
I mean, honestly, 2 years is a long goddamn time to be slowly starving.
Exciting.
No, really, think about that for a second. Like, they're not, like, truly starving, but people and machines are already shutting down due to the drought. And souls have just been sitting around here for 2 years waiting to move on. So here's what's going to come out, because, yeah, we're like an hour old at this point. Here's us fighting some Mossworn. Okay, okay. Yeah, it's like an unintentional purgatory. You're probably right, Umbral Magnus. Most of the people here probably still had a form until they sat here for 2 years and enough of their identity is just kind of bled out over time. Oh no, it's the Scourge! Horde Runner did not falter in the swarms of undead that threatened to overtake their world. Actually, it kind of does make Angrimstein. We hear no voice but the maw. Now we fight the Alliance. Yep, that's definitely a thing we did. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. Death to the Alliance, I guess.
Fascinating. To have seen so much in so little time.
Did I not tell you? This one bears promise.
Now, remember, this is when they first were playing around with the idea of changing around the new player concept, right? In other words, back when Shadowlands was new, what you most likely were if you were a new player is you had just started playing the game, then you did BFA, and then you did this. And lo and behold, what are the events referenced there? The events of the pre-launch event, the events of, you know, the first few quests, and the events of BFA. Now, I don't know what other events could show up here. In fact, let's actually do our due diligence here. Let's check that really quick. New game. It was just too much. It was too much. Okay, so here's the stuff that you can fight, okay? It is randomized. So you can do BFA Azurite, fighting the Alliance or the Horde, fighting the Kultirans or the Zandalari, fighting the Jailer in the Maw, fighting the Scourge. Oh! Check it out! They actually do have some other things that could show up for egg on my face. So you could also be fighting the Legion, you could be fighting the Lich King, or you could be fighting the Iron Horde, or Deathwing. Color me shocked. So, this is debatable, but a lot of people tend to agree that it's based on achievements, which would make sense. Shadowlands in particular has several bits of tech where they actually do specifically check your achievements to tell if people respond to you differently. Let me make up an example. Let's say we see Deathwing in the afterlife, and Deathwing's like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" But if you've killed him and have the achievement for killing him, he'll say, You totes killed me, how dare." Made up example, but you get the idea. There are several of those in Shadowlands, so yeah, it's probably achievement-based.
How may I aid you?
I confess I was hoping for a small spectacle to lift the spirits of the aspirants in my care. I was not expecting to have my own lifted. Thank you for that. You're welcome.
May your forge burn brightly.
I have seen firsthand you are a most capable soul. Clea has told me of your purpose here. She has spoken of the hopes she placed in you. I'm not yet certain if I'm ready to do the same. There's one small task I would set before you, however. My forge has grown cold without anima to keep it burning bright. I long to practice my craft again. My helper, whom you've met before, can elaborate. You'll find Sika near the forge.
Take joy in your work and pride in your craft.
Do you think they will truly be able to help us?
That is up to them. First, let them see.
That's interesting, though, because if that is true, the achievements thing is true, it means I'm right. Because that would mean both BFA and Shadowlands are considered default. Which makes sense, considering when this came out. Hello, Sika.
Oh, who? again. Time is...
Did you make a list, Sika?
Have it? Yes.
Good. I found you some help.
I help. Places to be.
Forge is cold, yes. Need lots of anima to light. Let's see. Times before, no anima everywhere, yes. Now it hides. Small bits, weird places. We know the ether worms, the flappy scale things that are blue, eat anima. They are not dead, so they are finding anima to eat, yes? Maybe if we take what they've eaten, we can use it to light the forge. This will probably kill them. Sad, yes, but we will not take too much. Just a little.
Time is precious.
The more forge to light need more anima. Always more. Never too much for forge. Out in field there is a glowy flower. The round thing inside? Bulb. It glows. So has anima from ground, we think. According to scrolls, it's called Adrima's lily. We do not know who Adrima is, but get lily good. Get flowers too, not just bulbs. Petals make stewards happy too. Thank you.
We've got a schedule to keep.
You have need of my hands?
The days passed. Keeping a forge burning was a trivial task. The anima extractors could run constantly without ever running dry. You know what this is? This is a challenge scenario for a builder game. No, I'm dead serious. Like, picture it, right? We keep talking about how you can use unique aspects of a setting to really flesh out the gameplay axis of a lot of games, right? So you have a builder game set in the Shadowlands, and you can build all kinds of stuff. It all takes anima, but anima flows smoothly as long as you keep the cycle going, right? Then, cycle stops. Anima stops coming in. Deal with it. If you've played Timberborn, it sounds similar to the drought mechanic over there, actually, although much worse. Or the storm in Frostpunk. I'm going to ask you risk the attention of the ether worms, activate the extractor, and guard it until it can accumulate what little anima remains. Bring me the product it collects. Let's hope it's enough.
May your forge burn brightly.
Archon guide you.
I have so much to learn, and this delay is just prolonging that journey. I fear I will never ascend.
Go in service.
Where did your training leave off? I was on the precipice of completing the rite of loyalty when things began to unravel. I was so close to ascension.
Clear skies. Full hearts. Can't lose.
Many aspirants, not much juice. Come back later, yes? Yeah, I notice he's carrying an empty tray. They're literally out of juice to serve, but they're still trying to serve it.
What shall we learn from each other?
I just want to start the 5 rites.
I wish you enduring resolve.
There's nothing to be done. No amount of meditation or training will bring me close to ascension. Not right now, anyway.
Go in service.
Sun and moon light your way.
It's okay. They have anima cake.
I welcome you.
Greetings. You must be the new aspirant everyone's talking about. Thought you might like to learn more about us. There are 3 tomes that would serve you well as a starting point, but they're not in the library. Aspirant Leda was holding on to worlds beyond counting. Aspirant Ikaran has yet to return the infinite treaties. And it seems bear witness the Watcher's Code went missing some time ago. Once returned, you can read them at your leisure.
Go in service.
Hey there. Bye-bye now. Allow me to help. This place won't tidy itself.
Welcome, friend. Toodle-hoo.
Lord Admiral's favor, friend.
There's the right of purity, right of courage, right of... Wait, have it. Loyalty? No, that can't be right.
Keep the wind in your sails.
What is on your mind?
Ah, you're the new arrival everyone's been talking about. I heard you're from a world called Azeroth. Hope to visit it someday. Do you need something? Yeah, I'm looking for worlds beyond counting.
By the Archon's will.
Someday I will visit all the many worlds out there. Maybe even yours. Don't be ridiculous. There's no other worlds out there right now.
Yoo-hoo!
I mean, this is literally called an anima extractor. And it summons enemies which you have to defend against. It's just screams builder game, right? Whoa! Okay.
None could have seen that coming.
Well, here's us. Well, we died in the afterlife, so here's what it looks like if we do. Take two. Yeah, no, ironically, despite their constantly talking about other worlds, there's a pretty good chance that all the people from the other worlds have been here, you know, for a while. Because those other worlds are freaking dead. Thanks for that, Sargeras. So Umbral Magus says, how easy to leave as someone who is dead? So, funnily enough, it's almost impossible. Unless you're a Kyrian and have one of those portals up there. I assume that's one of those portals. Because the Kyrians regularly go to other worlds to funnel people to the Shadowlands. Spirit Watchers. Or Spirit Healers, excuse me. I don't know why I said Watchers. By the way, while this is functionally an X of Y quest, I really like the structure of this story-wise. We are killing a local animal, then we are looting a local thing, and then we're activating a local thing. Why? Because we are so far out of anima that we have to use 3 completely separate sources of anima just to be able to get enough to start a forge. It's doing a good job of re-emphasizing just how bad the drought really is. I don't know what you're talking about, Magister. It's a messed up quest, actually. I'll try to look it up later when we get to that point in the story. Either that or funnel them... Well, I can't show it, but funnel them into Oribos. Into the funnel at the top. I actually don't remember exactly, to be quite honest with you. As I've said a few times, there's a couple of holes. A couple dozen holes in my knowledge of Shadowlands, because I've only really been through this once prior to this. So what are ghosts? Something that don't make sense if the constructed afterlives exist. Remember, as much as I like the world building of this, it is pretty much consistently breaking canon, simply by existing at all. Too much of the constructed afterlives interferes with how the Shadowlands has always operated, and will continue to operate after this expansion. So, short answer, nope.
It is an honor. by the Archon's will.
Crafters of Bastion have eternities to perfect this compendium. Do take good care of it. Yeah, ancestral spirits alone kind of interfere with the very concept of the constructed afterlives. And we have interacted with a lot of those.
It is an honor.
Oh, I guess I could read
Clear
these.
skies, full hearts.
Alright, so, Watcher's Code. First verse. The first virtue will come naturally to the denizens of Bastion. Compassion for what was, is, and will be. The soul knows itself and its deeds. Through it is a gaze. The soul knows itself and its deeds, though it is through a gaze of compassion the Kyrians will know them. Forgive small slights, give praise to great sacrifices. The scroll continues for 57 more verses. Worlds beyond counting. The contents of this scroll appear to be constantly shifting as new entries are added. World designate Azeroth, origin Titan. Inhabitants various, mostly sentient. Notable arrivals. Uther. The Infinite Treatise, a compendium of the philosophy, materials, and process of the greatest of Kyrian crafters. A masterwork of the Paragon of Wisdom. The scroll never seems to end.
We must all walk the path.
Oh, see, they return to their proper place. I appreciate your help in retrieving them. I hope they were informative.
Walk with courage.
I can fit you in. What need?
I found a missed a flower or two. We'll talk about Bluther in a minute. Well, actually it'll be a while. Fun fact, if you don't do the Kyrian campaign, he has almost no presence in the story. Like, he shows up after the Covenant campaign, briefly, and then for the Sylvanas thing, and that's kind of it.
What can I do? Places to be.
Did you find anima? Small pieces, even?
We've got a schedule to keep.
It glows. That means anima. Forgelight will be pleased.
Time is precious. Places to be.
Oh, they smell nice, and they glow lots. This is good, yes.
We've got a schedule to keep.
How may I aid you?
Is the extractor functional? How much were you able to require?
Take joy in your work.
That is somehow more and less than I expected. It'll have to do.
My hammer is yours.
I think we have the materials I'll need to light the forge, at long last. I am afraid this place is in a state of disrepair, between failed attempts at working without anima and simple neglect. I cannot hope to work the forge as it currently stands. I would very much appreciate your help getting the place in order.
Fix forge! Fix forge!
Stewards exist exclusively to be of aid to us. They become rather depressed when they cannot perform their duties.
We help good!
Don't think about that too much.
If you could tidy up a bit, I will have this forge lit in short order.
My axes are yours.
My soulbind seems to have taken a liking to you. I suppose out of thank you, she's beginning to lose some of her spark. Say hello if you happen by the Temple of Courage.
Never falter.
I'm pretty sure we never find out who created the stewards. I'll double check.
I help.
Anima? Yes. Tongs? Yes. Materials? Yes. Forge light? Yes. Silka? Yes. We have everything. Woo-hoo!
Places to be.
There we are. Speak. I would hear you.
Deeply grateful for your help. I can practice my craft again.
May your forge burn bright.
For too long have my hands been idle. She smiles warmly at you. You cannot know what this means to me, but I might be able to show you. For your aid in restoring my forge, please allow me to craft you a piece of armor. It'll not be an extravagant affair, but through good works we grow to know ourselves better. I will need your aid once more. Seek and I will guide you on the specifics.
Sika will show you how to operate the forge.
I really like these quests, don't they?
What can I do? Time is precious.
Oh god. I guess that is about what our equivalent would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, for me it'd probably be the computer in general, not just the internet.
Come. I have need of your hands.
Ah! Sorry.
Hold the armor steady now. This is the most delicate part of the process. Precision is key. Ah, it is finished.
Sorry, 1 second. That's what I thought. I was doing a little bit of a rabbit hole really quick here. There is exactly one thing anywhere that indicates what the Kyrians, excuse me, the stewards are. It's actually the official preview page for the Shadowlands on the Blizzard site. And it says, and I quote, "Born of the magic of death." That's it. That is 100% of the info we have on what the stewards are or where they came from.
You have need of my hands?
Hope you like it. It's far from my finest work. Dude, that's 60 item levels higher. I'll take it.
My hammer is yours.
But
Should
not
you
immediately.
need it?
See? You can't see under my beard, but it's there, I promise. I confess, I had little hope when you first arrived. There we go. Leia is convinced that your presence here is a sign of things finally improving in Bastion. I was skeptical. She gestures to her forge. But what you've done for me, I will not soon forget. There's a path beyond the Crucible. To walk it, you must overcome a trial. It'll be difficult. Such a thing takes an eon for most. You are not most. Clea and Pelagos will tell you more. They await you at the sparring grounds.
Take joy. Claire may be right to place her faith in you. Go in service.
There are several...
Come back soon.
See ya, Sika. There's several indicators that there are some native death creatures. Please try not to think too much about what a native death creature would look like. But yeah, exactly. Death elementals is probably a more accurate description of what these things are. Go with that one for now. Sorry. How did the Kyrian come to be? Well, that's actually easy. I can tell you that right now. The Kyrians were built by the Bastion Eternal one, who I can't even think of her damn name. In her image. Like, all of the individuals of a specific zone are modeled after their particular Archon. Not Archon, Eternal one. Meh. You know what? We'll just do it this way. Ignore how spoiler this is. So you see, this entity exists, the slightly less robotic version of this thing, and so she modeled all the Kyrians off to herself. Similarly, she's kind of a weird one. Nothing looks like her. We'll actually talk about her when we get there. This, however, this egotistical asshole definitely modeled everything in his realm after himself. He didn't model anything after anything. I actually unironically think we get a little bit of insight in the character of the four Eternal Ones by virtue of how they have allowed the appearance of their members to precipitate.
I see you have earned the Forge Light's favor. Good. Time to put your new armor to the test.
Okay.
How may I serve you? Keep a calm mind.
This trial will test you in ways you can likely only imagine. I can see both from your past and your demeanor you're no stranger to combat. I'd like to know where your strengths lie when we address your weaknesses. Hey! You will find 3 Praetorian soldiers, each stronger than the last. Defeat them all and I'll consider this sufficient strength.
Archon's wisdom prevails.
The trial ahead will likely test you on many levels. I, like Clea, wish to assess your willingness to endure. Look around here. All the aspirants trained for the very trial you are to attempt. Some are here honing their skills for centuries, ages. Some grow quickly, some do not. Your task is to engage them in friendly, armed combat. Among the Kyrian, this is known as combat meditation. But I can kill them.
If at first you don't succeed, pick yourself up and try again.
Like, I don't want to... Okay.
I welcome you. Trust the process.
Patience and faith.
At least death was interesting. All this waiting and for what?
Trust the Archon's wisdom.
Interesting.
We walk this path together.
Greetings.
Patience, they say. Well, I don't see a paragon of patience sitting around, do you? Well, it's funny you say that.
What knowledge do you bear?
At which temple do you train?
Interesting. All right then.
I actually do have a tremendous amount of patience in real life, Disco. My friends make fun of me for it. Whenever we select a new co-op game, just to use a random example, that I always let them choose, because I don't mind waiting years to play a game.
Archon guide you.
I mean, I don't even know how long it'll be before I play something like, say, Avowed, which I'm pretty interested in. And who knows when that'll be, right?
Challenge accepted. I will use level 3 training protocol.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering why there's martial arts in general in Bastion. What do the Kyrians have to do with martial arts?
Protocol is completed. This combat sequence ends.
Like, yeah, I get that it's Greek, but that's not, there's no in-universe sense make there.
Challenge accepted. I will use level 1 training protocol. Training protocol is completed. This combat sequence ends.
I suppose that could make some sense as Miristar. It rains a lot. This is like the third anima storm or whatever that we've seen so far.
It is an honor.
Challenge accepted. I will use level 2 training protocol. Shall we converse? Training protocol is completed. This combat sequence ends.
The future of Bastion is in our hands.
Fight so many in short a time is truly a feat of stamina. I'm tired just looking at you.
If there is anything I can do for you,
it is clear to all that you are indeed a skilled combatant. There's one challenge here that continues to test even the strongest among us. I would have you attempt to best a well-known centurion, beloved by all aspirants, called Athanos. Consider this a test of your spirit.
We will hold back nothing, mortal.
Okay.
Initiating humility sequence. Your training is incomplete.
He literally hit the I win button.
That never gets easier to watch.
Literally hit the I win button.
Lesson in humility.
Like, we were winning. Did you notice that? We were doing fine until he cheated.
Allow me to show you the way. I will ascend. You are a sign of the winds of change.
Athanos. It remains undefeated as intended. How are you powering something that is deliberately overtuned in an anima drought? Still, you have exceeded any expectation I might have had. You are stronger than many that have come before you. You've come here for purpose, and Clea has illuminated a path she believes you can walk, and I agree. I have opened the way to the Crucible's final rite. Follow the path south and east. There you'll find the entrance to the Chamber of First Reflection. Go in service.
My hammer is yours, should you need it.
I will meet you there, aspirant. Be ready for a challenge.
Okay. Is it more of a challenge than the literally cheating bot? I was actually chewing on it. I don't think I'm going to give a negative for the fact that there's the Greco thing here. It's fine. Doesn't bother me. And you know how what the definition is of a negative. Okay. Bastion is very Greek. Greek-coded. Greek mythos, whatever you want to call that. Yeah, it's something I could nitpick, but this doesn't actually give a negative to the story. At least not at the moment. See if that continues to be a thing. Lord knows this is Shadowlands, which can screw up all over the place. I don't know. What's Maldraxxus? Brycool, I guess? Or I guess I should say Norse? Because Ardenweald's obvious, and so is Revendreth.
The drought holds strong. We must find a solution.
The situation may seem familiar. When you found Pelagos, he was undergoing a similar rite. As you saw, it can end in violence. This will be the first time you were asked to draw out the burdens that held you to a mortal life. It may be a painful process. It is for many. For you, this is the path you must walk to attain your goals, to earn the right to stand among us, to be heard, so you may carry your message to the Archon herself. Remember, no ticking clock.
Archon, I have readied some items in the next chamber. They will help you prepare.
Thank you, Clea. I meant more in a real-life sense as Mirror. That does make me wonder. In lore, what exactly is the connection between Nerubians and Maldraxxus? You could argue the connection of, say, the Kyrians and the Valkyr, because, sure, it goes the other way, influenced by Eye of Odin, blah, 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 sure, whatever. But, like, where exactly did the Nerubians get their idea? Because it almost assuredly, in universes, the Nerubians based their architecture on the Maldraxxians. Where's the connecting thread there? I bathe in the pool.
What is on your mind? Whatever the challenge, in the chamber below, you will confront and subdue your deepest memories. Few aspirants advance to this trial so quickly. If you succeed, you will have proven yourself to the Ascended.
Yeah, that bath was probably really cold for us.
You must delve deeper. Try again.
It's my malignant reflection. Which I definitely have, as an earthen, who's about 2 hours old.
There is still more you must pull from yourself. Open yourself to it.
Oh man, I'm getting more malignant by the second. Look at this. I must kill the Alliance. That would actually be ironic, or not ironic, amusing. If we got to this point, it's like, peer into your deepest memories. Error. Memories not found. What?
There. This is the moment you must overcome.
Okay. It's my anguished memory of... I'm joking. It's probably the Maw. The Maw is not pleasant.
It is finished.
Like, for real. I'm kind of doing this for unrelated reasons, but really think about the path of a brand new earthen who is more or less immediately thrown into the afterlives. And the first thing they see is the Maw. Remember, we actually had to walk through the River of Souls when we went through the Maw. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Red. Like, really picture that. Just flung right off the deep end. Although that's a valid point. We might have so few experiences, we might literally not be able to comprehend how horrific the Maw really is. Yeah, they don't have the same idea of death that we do. We talked about that. They have two types of death, and neither of them are this. Sorry, one moment. Actually, yeah, is Mirstar. Oh, God. Yeah, funny thing, they've never, to my knowledge, really 100% said where the souls come from, which is fine, they don't need to. But it does make you wonder a little bit. Okay, I will be right back. Funny you say that, Uthor. I actually agree on both points. It's like the anniversary event we just had. Is it canon? Well, some of those things very clearly follow through on plot threads and character points, but the rest of it is just eyebrow raising. Soft canon.
I serve not only Bastion, but all of the Shadowlands.
This is a moment worthy of celebration. She smiles broadly at you. You've done it. They've come.
Keep a calm mind.
Your cleansing is complete, and you are whole. Our plan was a success. Undergoing such a rite so soon after your arrival has attracted Calisthine's attention once more. Now is the opportunity to request an audience with the Archon. Stand before her and be proud of what you've accomplished. No matter what happens now, you've done all that any aspirant could hope to do.
Deep breaths.
Soft canon's more or less exactly what it sounds like. Soft canon is...
We had best not keep Calistene waiting.
I'm trying to talk here. Soft canon is when something is kind of canon, but not really. Like, you don't have to adhere to it. Or only bits and pieces of it are canon. So, to use a specific example, Ardenweald does demonstrably exist. We see it referenced multiple times in Dragonflight. We go there in Dragonflight. However, what about the anima drought? What about the nature of the Nothrazim? What about the very existence of the jailer? None of that's even been... We've heard a peep of it, right? And yeah, Kira White Noise is actually a good example. Did the Shaw of Anger actually attack Tanarus? Probably not. Did Lore Walker Cho tell stories on stage? Probably. Is, what's their names? Stelagosa? Is Stelagosa and Valtois actually a couple and just hanging out? Probably, yeah. But is, I can't remember her name. There was a character who came in who arguably shouldn't be there because she's from Draenor. Is she actually there? Probably not. You get the idea. From a writer's perspective, soft canon is a valuable tool because it allows you to just kind of decide what you carry forward. Yeah, that's true, Huthor. That's a valid point there. Maldraxxus will probably be relevant in the future. I would believe that. I also wouldn't mind if the Bastion was, especially given later events. Revendreth? That's actually a little bit more debatable, weirdly enough. And the Maw?
State your purpose. You arrived in Bastion with dire news, which I have shared with the Archon. She thanks you for your service. As a token of gratitude, she wishes to offer you a gift. Do you accept?
Sure. I live to serve. Sorry. I mean, we've been debating this whole time how best to restructure the Shadowlands to make it just more coherent, internally and externally. Thank you. So yeah, I would be fully down if they just decided to codify that idea and do something with it.
Yes, mortal.
So, wow. Oh, right. Okay. I'm surprised these are still in the game. So, back in when Shadowlands was new, there were Covenant abilities per class. One of the cooler ideas they've had, if I might be so bold. There were downsides to it, because people would choose Covenants not based on story or personal preference. Like, they didn't want to do the events or the cosmetics or anything. No, they wanted the ability. But I did like a lot of the abilities they gave us. The problem was there was such a huge variance in the abilities that some of them were just demonstrably better than the other ones. But yeah, like, apparently these still exist, which is interesting because the artifact abilities back in Legion super do not. But one thing they did, and one thing I did actually like, is as you're going through the campaign, pretty early into each zone, you gain access to that Covenant's ability, which you keep as you're going through that zone. When you go to the next zone, you get that new Covenant's ability, and so you get a preview of the four Covenant's abilities for your class. I always thought that was actually a pretty cool idea.
I will be watching you. Go in service, aspirants. Archon's eyes upon you all.
So now we have Divine Toll, and right there is Divine Toll. Huh. Yep, no, that is 1-to-1. Cool. So we'll have 2 Divine Tolls. I'm going to, Huthor, because I'm curious. I think we can agree such a reply feels somewhat hollow. God, Clea, stop being so awesome. I choose to take faith that we have done all we can. All of us. I do not know what comes next, but perhaps the path will reveal itself. In the meantime, Pelagos and I will return to Aspirant's Rest for a moment of respite.
The Archon said nothing of Kyrian serving the Maw?
Perhaps she does not believe it. We have but the word of a single aspirant, though one would think that would be enough.
Seriously, I like Clea. Pelagos, but Clea, Yeah, service does not have to be unquestioning. Service does not have to be fanatical.
We will help however we can. The drought holds strong.
Does this mean you intend to stay? Well, you know. It's not like I got anything else going on, right? I am Cosmos. Actually, it's probably Cosmos. That's probably how it's supposed to be said. Cosmos? Disciple to the Temple of Purity. The temple is a place of cleansing. Its sole purpose is to free aspirants of the burdens they carry from life. It's a place of quiet reflection, even for those who have shed their burdens. Of late, those who look to us for purification have grown numerous. My fellow disciples are stretched terribly thin. I've come to seek the aid of all able-minded aspirants. Your help is needed.
Guard yourselves against your doubts. All is not well.
It could not have worsened since I was last there.
What is wrong with his inflection? It could not have worsened since I was last there. What does he say? Sorry. In light of the new arrivals to Bastion, Calistine has enabled the anima gateways to Heroes' Rest once more. Those wishing to partake in the breathtaking views, unparalleled steward services, and all manner of training and repair facilities should venture to this most remarkable locations at their earliest convenience. Here's some directions. We haven't seen a lot of directions in a while, I've noticed. In quest text. It used to be a standard operating procedure. Nowadays, it's a little more rare. I wonder if it'll be back in Dragonflight. I legitimately don't remember. So there's several fallen aspirants here. That's the first time we've seen one of those.
Your deeds precede you.
Notice their skin color. Nice way to immediately visually indicate someone who is the bad guy.
You have my ear.
Is that frickin' Ashley again? Your face is new to me. She frowns at you. I regret that this will be your introduction to our temple. As my disciples have informed you, we seek the aid of all available aspirants to tend those in our care. Do not trouble yourself with the specifics of the work that's needed. Those devoted to the temple will guide you. Seek out the disciples within. You may find me within the temple when you've given your aid.
Our temple can bring you peace. Clea, assist the Paragon. Pelagos, you and our new aspirant will aid the disciples. Go in service.
Yes, Ascended One.
Can I assist in your meditations?
I brought you a gift.
I will reflect on this
Oh,
conversation.
this is wonderful. Thank you.
By Visiphanes'
You have
grace.
no idea what you just delivered, do you? She opens the parcel to reveal a wreath of Larian plumage. I will explain, but first I wish to return the favor. Clystera and I frequented a resting place north of here on a path to the Temple of Courage. We planted a flower for our enjoyment, as we spend so much of our free time there. Bring me this bloom, if you'd be so kind. Then I'll tell you about the significance of the gift.
I will reflect on this conversation.
Okay. What's with the devastated ruins up here? In fact, why do you have ruins at all in the afterlife? You know what? Never mind. Don't listen to me. Several of these. Where is this stupid thing? Oh, there it is. I see it. I see it. Aspirants new and ancient, take note. The heralded Agthea's repose calls. Make the ceremonial journey and learn more about the ancient fallen paragon who saved this very realm. Well, we're right here. Let's follow the flow. By the way, I love the new moths they added. There's some cool ones in Ardenweald as well. Can you tame those? Does anybody know? Asking for a friend.
How may I assist you? What knowledge do you seek?
Greetings, mortal. Are you here to learn about the legacy of Agthea, Paragon of Courage? I welcome you to walk the grounds of this ancient battleground, to learn of the battle that occurred here, and the heroic Paragon who saved all of Bastion and the Shadowlands.
I exist to answer all your questions.
Agthea was the Paragon of Courage many eons ago. Take your time. Explore the garden. Experience her legacy. Okay. Eons ago, the powers of the Void launched a massive attack against the Shadowlands, trying to shift the balance of the cosmos. The attack blindsided the Kyrians and embroiled all of Bastion into chaos. Yes, that's right, the Void can just reach out here. Which means, by definition, this place should have been at the top of Sargeras' burn list. Remember, you can physically reach the Shadowlands. Just pointing it out. Yeah, believe it or not, this Void incursion will actually come back several times over the course of this expansion. Yeah, that's right. N'Zoth should have also been at the top of trying to grab this place. I said that in reverse. This should have been at the top of N'Zoth's list for places to grab. There we go. Across all of Bastion, Centurions and Kyrians fell alike, and Ascended fell from the sky as the powers of the Void overwhelmed them. In fact, considering how shattered the Shadowlands are and the anima drought, I'm pretty sure if N'Zoth just pushed in here, he'd just win. Like, he'd just sweep. The Paragon of Courage at the time, Agthea, took charge of the forces at this very site. Bastion was on the path to surely fall, but she would not let that happen. Oh no, there's an interesting thought. So you know how every now and again you have one of those half-formed thoughts and it would take some more time and effort to really process it? Here's the half-formed version. What if instead of the jailer it's N'Zoth? Or Xal'atath? What if he made a successful play to get in here? And he's the... Now here's the significant part. Don't make N'Zoth like, oh, I'm going to undo all reality. That's dumb. No, he's just trying to making another shot at the Shadowlands. But the most important part by far is Anduin. Hear me out for a second. If you zoom the camera out enough on WoW's story, the jailer only serves one purpose, ever. Everything else is easy to just detach him from the story, and essentially nothing has changed. The one big exception is Anduin. Anduin's trauma is a huge character beat for him, and it's something that we are still dealing with now. So we need to have something traumatize Anduin, and old gods are really good at screwing with people's heads. You could even make it so the Maw doesn't actually exist. Instead of being Uber Hell, that's just the place where N'Zoth's fragment landed. That's him spreading his influence, the Void's influence, across the Shadowlands. And that's literally the cancer growth. Oh, I can't even pull up the map right now. That's funny. The cancer growth of the void. Yeah, the Shadowland versions of Nyalotha. There you go. Boom. Like I said, that would take some processing to really make that work, but...
How may I assist you?
It is an eternal tug-of-war between the cosmic forces of existence. They constantly vie for power over each other, but if one fell, all worlds would fall into chaos.
It was my pleasure.
Now that you've familiarized yourself with the events, it's time to experience it yourself. Wait, what?
I exist to answer all...
You want me to what, exactly? Now that's a nice skybox.
Peace be upon you.
To arms, Kyrian. We must stand strong against the forces of the Void.
We will not falter.
The Void invaders are wiping our forces from existence. My disciples fall, returning their anima to the lands. If we fail to drive them from the lands, more Kyrians will be lost. First Bastion, then the Shadowlands as a whole.
Fly free of your burdens.
I do not, Cygnus. The forces of the Void are infinite. They travel through the great beyond by creating portals, twisting gateways between our planes. Quickly move to close these portals. Cripple the swell of their forces for as long as we can hold.
Trust the path.
Yeah.
Speak, mortal.
I see my peers fall in pain, their wounds from the Void overtaking them. We cannot allow ourselves or each other to give up hope. Share your anima with the wounded. Help them stand tall for another fight. So this is our first real insight into something they've hinted at a few times. Anima is the building block of everything. It's the atoms of the Shadowlands, right? So food, water, equipment, enchantments, magic, people, beasts. It's all anima, right? Now, that makes a degree of sense. It's also one of the reasons why it's so weird that there's someone who has a body walking around. That's us. Several people throughout this will be able to tell immediately something's wrong with us, just because we're not made of anima. However, that leads us to the other thing. Yeah, it's very similar to Ether from FF14. The other idea is, if you are of anima, that is to say, if you belong in the Shadowlands, and you die here, you die permanently. I only bring that up because it's supposed to be a major plot point, and yet it's one of those things that, as with so many other internal inconsistencies, they tend to just kind of forget every now and again. Oh no, that's an interesting idea, Huthor. It does... I should give a negative for that, shouldn't I? I should. So, yes, just go. There's also an Amy lands. You don't want to go there. But yeah, the idea, I've actually mentioned this before. The whole you dissolve into your plane thing comes from the idea that if you die in your home plane, you just kind of dissipate into it. It's more or less your body rotting into the soil, just on a slightly more metaphysical level. But it's the same exact concept. So, yeah, the idea of you permanently dying because you died out here just kind of makes perfect sense, really. Your anima just dissolves back into the terrain around you. Or is spent completely. Take your pick. So, hear me out for a second, okay? Why does the mechanism of death break when Argus dies? I'm kind of asking sincerely. I know it's our first Titan death ever, as it happens. Actually, there are a lot of indicators that that's exactly right, Umbral Magnus. Because you spend anima to do everything, just like you spend real-life reasons. Like, you eat a sandwich, but that sandwich literally provides fuel for your body to operate. If you stop eating, you will slowly starve. Now, because these are fantastical magical beings, they don't starve in a few weeks, they starve in a few years, but they do starve nonetheless, because they burn anima doing everything. I guess my point overall, Mr. Ed, is that feels rather hand-wavy to me. Also, like, I'm not even talking about the fact that it's all the jailer's plan. That's a whole separate problem. Just the fact that Argus's death completely breaks the Arbiter to the point where she never recovers. Why? Something about that just kind of sticks... Oh my god, look at me. Behold. Sorry. Anyways, so, sorry. Back to Thor's idea, which is what reminded me of that. So what if these are the ordered death realms? Okay, I'm with it. Because, of course, Titans wouldn't leave contingencies for their own death, which, yeah, that still makes sense. I mean, honestly, this whole place... We keep talking about this. This whole place is very Titan-coded. Right? Like, 100%. This place feels like it was built by the Titans. It is a very structured, orderly place in which you go through an Arbiter who very, very quickly, like a supercomputer, sifts through your life and associates you with where you should go. There's a concept they call the purpose, capital P, and the first afterlife we see here is the Kyrians who follow the service, capital S, service. They are here to serve and to continue keeping the mechanisms of death running. Like, replace these with earthen, and it's barely a change. And yeah, that's actually a valid point, Blair Taval. The Titans actually have pretty decent backups in most cases. I don't know. Anyway, so this is the ordered death. I'm with it. Breaking it causes the drought, which weakens the realm, so N'Zoth can take influence. Okay. And yeah, maybe it was literally Sargeras who ordered this place. Oh, dude. No, hear me out. Let's add a layer to Sargeras' plan. Sargeras built or usurped the afterlife in order to serve as the dumping grounds for all the souls that he was killing across the worlds. This is a place that's supposed to be impossible for the Void to reach. This is the bubble. This is the vault, right? This is the ark. So once he's done burning the physical plane, all these seeds will be able to sprout from here and repopulate the galaxy once the Void has died out. Yeah, exactly. This is why he's washing all these souls on a interstellar scale. That actually makes a lot of sense. Now, something goes wrong somewhere, and that lets the Void in, and that's the problem. But the idea would be that this is that chamber. This is that lockdown spot. And this place being so organized, I mean, I'm sorry. Maldraxxus is practically Sargerite anyways, right? Like, think about, for those of you who know this game, think about Maldraxxus and how it operates. That is correct, Blade Traval. That's the acceptable loss. Because he's Sargeras and he's a Titan, and acceptable losses is kind of their MO. But he also kills a lot of people. Like, scores of people. He destroys planets, right? So a lot of souls are still tossed into here from all the planets that he purges. And of course, if any world stays out of the bubble, stays out of the ark, it screws with the whole plan. This then builds another automatic reason why he is such a hard-on for frickin' Azeroth. Is because Azeroth can't survive It ruins it. It allows that little back door into the Shadowlands, which is not going to work for his overall plan. It needs to be sealed, and everything else needs to go away. If one planet survives, then the void will continue to survive and spread, and the plan doesn't work at all.
You have faced much.
That works. I think we might make that our Warcraft. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Exactly, Uthor. No, I like that. I like that. We tie in... That means we'll keep having the constructed afterlives, which is going to require some restructuring. But it makes them make freaking sense. The biggest asterisk there is we're going to have to make the constructed afterlives always exist, right? It is. You're right, Kraken-san. Anyway, sorry. Oh, Jesus, that's horrifying, Dakota.
Go in service.
Okay, so boss time. Despite our efforts, the Void stands strong. All the forces of Bastion fight and fall one by one. The Void cannot destroy us. They're led by Tezulat the Annihilator.
May wisdom guide your path.
Yeah, so hang on. So how do we make the jailer work in that? Obviously, the obvious answer is to eject him. But you remember that idea I keep pushing? The idea that the jailer is just... he's a broken robot. And all of a sudden, the purpose of the jailer in Sargeras' plans kind of coalesces, doesn't it? Yeah, he is functionally another keeper. All the Eternal ones are keepers. Rather than Titan pluses, they're actually Titan minuses. But that fits. Let's go with this one. Sorry. I shouldn't take so long. And there's plenty of ways for, Zoval to then screw with Anduin to allow that major plot point to continue. Yeah, him being the prime designate makes a fairly large amount of sense, really. Now, so here's the question. What is Zoval's goal in Shadowlands? None of this, I've been behind everything the whole time. Bullcrap. Obviously, let's just get rid of that. It does mean Shadowlands would actually be the end of the Warcraft story they promised the whole time. Because it would be the final hurrah of Sargeras, the main villain of Warcraft. And yeah, 100% the stab activates Zoval. Easy
What knowledge
slide
do
in
you
there.
seek? It was my pleasure.
Throughout her life, Agthea wielded great command over the powers of anima. With her final breath, she sacrificed all she had, channeling the power within and around her to turn herself into a blast of pure anima. With a single blast, she sent a ripple that destroyed not only the commander, but all the void across Bastion. Existence maintains order thanks to her noble sacrifice. We maintain the side of the battle in her memory, and so we may learn from her courage for eternity. Free Sargeras. Oh. I don't know, I'm gonna have to chew on that. Preferably while I'm chewing on lunch.